What's good, YouTube? What's good? So we got T2 tonight. I hope everybody's ready. I don't know if some of you guys got to be familiar because you follow the Upchurch, music that comes out. So you got to be familiar with T2. I had somebody reach out to me and thought he was from Blink 182 because of his shirt. He is not from Blink 182. T2 is an artist. I'll let you tell him about himself, but I want to play some music from him, and then we're gonna bring him on in. I appreciate everybody coming out. Let's go. This is Demons by T2. Hold on.
I got demons in my closet, baby. And I ain't tryna let them out. And she say that I've been toxic lately. But she knew that, yeah, she knew that when she came around. Lost and found, made it out. Off the pound, we getting money, baby. Out of bounds, out of time. Still hold it down. We gon' fuck it. And all I'm tripping on is payroll. Cause all I know is I ain't doing shit for free.
Dog, I love your sound, bro. I love whatever the influence is for that, like mellow. It's almost like an R&B rapper, if that makes sense.
Sheesh, I'll take it. It might have been cooler if I was a Blink 182 rapper, but
bro, ain't that crazy, dog? He was like, "Yo, he's from Blink 182. What do you do in Blink 182?" I'm like, he does kind of got that. You got that like skater punk vibe. And I knew before we talked about the hippie thing, I was like, bro, he's a smoker, dog. My dog's blowing clouds.
For sure. Big trees. Yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, he was the lead singer for Blink for, a long time. No, that's crazy that somebody said that. I am a huge Blink 182 fan. That was like one of the first bands that got me into music. But yeah, that is funny for sure.
Well, now, like, if I listen to Blink 182, because I got a Blink 182 shirt that I wear to work, and people are like, yo, this dude's taste in music is trash. And I'm like, yo, calm down, man. Like, it's aged. You know what I'm saying? We talk about music and how it doesn't fit the test of time, but it's hard to go back and listen to some of that, dog, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, it is. Like, some of this, especially when you go back and you listen to certain shit, you're like, man, it's kind of cringy. But the really good stuff, it does hold, you know what I mean? Like there are certain songs that just take me back and forever will be classic. It is funny though. People always clown. They're like, "You're big Blink 182 guy, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, big Blink 182 guy."
Yeah, so. Like even so, I get hell for Sublime because like some of the Sublime acoustic versions that Bradley Noel does, drunk, wasted, high out of his mind. It does sound crazy listening to it from the outside, but I love that music.
Oh, bro, Sublime is top 5 maybe for me. Like I'm a huge Sublime fan for sure.
Bro, imagine if he was still around. Like, imagine how big he'd be.
I will say that Rome, because they did the Sublime at Rome thing. Like when I went to one of their concerts like a year or two ago, and he did a good job when he sang like the classics. Like if I close my eyes, like it wasn't quite Bradley, you know what I mean? But it was good. Yeah, but yeah, I would love to see where he would be as an artist now. 30 years later, like what would he have done on his own? What would Sublime would have kept doing? Yeah, it's crazy.
Because like to me, like looking back, he was independent, right? He was just making music with his friends, essentially.
Yeah.
No, and then until he died, then it became a bigger name.
I mean, it's crazy. I think that Bradley Knowles is one of like the best songwriters and like singers of our generation that got super underrated for like the majority. I almost feel like only stoners can really appreciate it, and that's like a little silly to me because it's like, bro, dude was fucking incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy because are you born and raised in Texas?
I was born in Ecuador in South America, actually. Okay. But I've lived in Texas since I was 1, so I always tell people I'm a Texan for sure. But yeah, actually I was born in South America, so crazy. Yeah. And my dad's from England. It's just like he has an accent, everything, man. You know what I mean? He really speaks like this. And then my mom's side of the family, they barely speak English. And then I've lived in Texas since I was 1 in like the Southwest side. So it's just like, I'm just like a mutt, dude. I'm a combo of all sorts of shit. So.
Oh, bro, because I watch your memes, like the memes you do, the high roller, what is it? High card entertainment. Wild card. There you go. And I see you, you did the funny thing about, you were talking about your mom. You're like, no, let me go back. I got a great mom. Is that why you were kind of, I mean, it's not like she's going to be in here trolling the chats listening. You said she doesn't even really speak English much, right?
Yeah, no, she did. I mean, her first language was definitely Spanish. Now she's cool, but yeah, it took a while. And like my cousins and a lot of them, like, bro, they're like super Hispanic. You know what I mean? Like it's Spanglish a lot of times
Yeah.
at family gatherings. You know.
So
But
did that meme chant? Is that like a meme? Is that what that is? Is that just focus on trying to be funny?
no, it's basically just like clips. Like we started a podcast and then we realized that we are wildly inappropriate. So we couldn't really put out the full episodes because like, we're not trying to get canceled before we get started.
Yeah.
So it kind of was just like we were doing like skits and stupid little videos and then we started doing a podcast. We were like, well, this will be a cool place to like highlight clips and bring them over to the Wildcard page. And we do have a couple of full episodes out on YouTube under Wildcard. But it's just like anything random, bro. Like I did one the other day where when we were in Nashville, I woke up our photographer and like I like got in the bed with him and like trolled him and woke him. I don't know if you saw that, but like just anything random like that, like that's funny because bro, I'm a goofy bastard. Like I really be trolling. I put over there and then I keep the music stuff more for the T2 page. So
yeah, you could tell, bro. Your personality right away, you could tell that you like to troll. You like to be the funny guy. Like I bet you back in school you were the guy that was cracking the jokes. Like you were the class clown.
Yeah, I was, dude. I think I got voted like class clown and most likely to become famous. And like that's my claim to fame, bro. Like even if I go nowhere in life, I still got that 5th grade vote, you know?
Yeah, that's dope. No, it's cool, man, because you're like, I didn't even know who you were until you did the feature Lingo, right? I think it was Lingo. I think that was the first one you were on.
That was the first one, man. Yeah, it's crazy too because that one we were like straight freestyling, like having fun, joking around. And Church is so like unorthodox and like he just moves how he wants to. So I'm thinking that one was just like a warm up because we did motion picture, Lonestar, and Lingo all at the same time. Right. And it was like an epic, like 24 hours in the studio. Like we came up with some bangers. But I'm thinking, oh, Lonestar and motion picture, we're golden. Like these are hits. And then I get a text from Trey like, hey, I'm dropping Lingo on Monday. It's like Sunday. I'm like, what? Lingo? Like just mind blown. Like, you know what I mean? Because we were literally like freestyling, having fun, trying shit out. Like I did not even think for a second that he was gonna drop that as a song or like anything. And then, dude, but just I learned so much from him because he's like, nah, it sounds cool. Like, let's give it to the people. Who cares?
Yeah, it was a great entry. I think that was a dope entry for you because it was kind of like it fit the time. You guys were he was in Texas. You guys were doing your thing out there. So it fit the moment. I think that was a smart idea.
It was genius. That's what I'm saying, dog. Like when I'm around him and B-Loose, I don't know how familiar you are with B-Loose, but like being around them when they were in Houston and being around them in Nashville, I'm like, yo, these dudes are fucking crazy. Like they're actually wild because they move to the beat of their own drum more than anybody else I've ever met in the industry. And they're two of the most successful dudes I know in the music industry. So it's just like, it definitely opened my eyes. Church said something to me when he was in Houston. He's like, bro, why have a rollout and a campaign and all this timed promo for a song like you're a signed artist? That's what labels do when you're independent. He's like, I move like I'm independent because I'm independent, so I do what the fuck I want. And I just like blew my mind. I was like, what? Like, of course, that's obviously the approach. And so just being around them and seeing that kind of opened my eyes to that. Just kind of the real, like the freedom you have by being independent. You know, you don't have to follow the structure.
Well, it's dope that you say that because people don't believe that that's really how he moves. And it's kind of just like, hey, I'm doing this and that's what's happening. And it's dope to hear that you said that because like this next video that drops tomorrow, right? This video is going to be, from what I've seen, probably some of the dopest video I've seen B-Lo's put out. Like, man, I can't wait for Monday.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, bro. I'm not going to lie. Like again, like I didn't really know, B-Lo's hit me up. He's like, yo, Church said pull up to Nashville. We're going to get you guys out here. We're going to shoot some videos. We're going to work on some music stuff. Church wants to do some comedy stuff with us. So it was just like, I had no idea really what to expect. I was like, yeah, I'm on the way, say less. And then I kind of see what they have and planned out and like what B-Lo's supposed to do. And the cool thing about him, he was asking our input so much too. Like me and my business partner, like the guy I do Wildcard with, we knew B-Lo's when he still lived in Houston. And he shot some of my videos back then. And that's how we all linked up with Church anyway. But he was just so open-minded and so was Church. So like, hey, what do y'all think about this? or church like, hey T, what do you think about this scene? Should I try to? And I'm just like, hey, maybe try looking this way. We'll move the light. And they're like, yeah, hell yeah. And they're just so like open-minded and free and like not pretentious, as opposed to somebody I'm sure on like a major label that would shoot like that. I would have no say in the video, in the style, in anything. I'm just showing up on set, doing my part and leaving. But working with them, it was like our opinions and our, you know, artistic like insight held a lot of value. And it was just another thing that I was like, yo, this is sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. It was fun to work with. Like you're actually involved in what's going on rather than just being a part of what's going on.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And
yeah, that's awesome.
And you know, I don't want to say too much, but we, you know, y'all can assume what the other video we shot was, right? We shot more than one.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of input on that one too. And it was just like, I'm like bringing ideas to the table and I'm kind of like nervous, like, what are they going to say? And they're like, hell yeah, let's do that. I'm like, cool. Like, you know, it was.
And I love the little hints that were thrown out. Like, bro, when I seen the arena you guys were in, immediately it brought back every memory from his Nashville show. Like and that was put across the internet. Like everybody got to see that. Like that Easter egg stuff that he throws out. I think it's awesome because, like you said, as an independent artist, you do what you need to do to get the music out, and that is brilliant. That's brilliant.
It's really cool. It's like you know, a lot of people have asked me. I've done, you know, a few interviews and just random people online or DMing me, whatever. They're like, you know, what's it like working with church? What have you learned? And the biggest thing I learned, bro, is like, fuck the system, fuck the structure. You do what you do, and if they will embrace it or not. But like trying to follow a path that somebody on a major label would do, or somebody with this kind of music would do. It's for the birds, bro. Like there's just a freedom in that camp. And obviously some of that does come with the success that they found. Now they have more freedom than they probably did when they started. But there's the level of freedom and just like open-mindedness to do whatever. I'm like, bro, I'm taking that and I'm running with it for the rest of my career. Like I'm done with the whole, let's have this perfect structure for this single. And we're going to put out 2 pictures and then a promo reel. And then, nah, dude, like if I want to drop a song tomorrow, I'm just going to drop that bitch. Cause that's what they do. And it works well, you know? So.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant because I mean, you can't fit yourself to somebody else's. Like, I feel like a lot of the artists in the mainstream, they like try to mold themselves to what others want them to be. You know what I mean? And then you can sense like they're not real. That's why I like the little bit of music that I listened that you put out. You really just say what you want in it. It doesn't seem like you care too much about the appeal of other people. What they want. Like you're not fitting in with the trend. Cause I thought differently when I seen you have that wild card entertainment and you were trying to keep the attention with the comedy, which I think is dope. I didn't expect your music to just be you. You know what I mean? So I think that's badass.
Yeah, I'll take it, bro. Yeah, for sure, man. And like, you know, even if you listen to like my Demons, right? Compared to Oh My, compared to that song Nothing that you were jamming when I first hopped in. They're all so different to each other. And so like my formula is if I think it's jamming, I'm gonna rock with it. I'm not thinking at all anymore. And this has been kind of established for a while of like how it's going to be received. It's all about how I receive it and how my homies receive it. If me and my best homies, they all think it's jamming, I think it's jamming, that's going to be one of the songs we run with. And like, I will literally be on some hood shit, you know, in Demons, like, you know, made it out, off a pound. She's, you know, all that. And then the next thing I'm talking about cut ties, need a bigger blade, hard time, make with lemonade, like randomness. And then you got in Oh My, I open it up with they on that hocus pocus magic stuff. Stories just ain't adding up. And it's like, did this dude just say hocus pocus in his first line of his song? You know what I mean? But it's like, I thought that shit sounded cool, so I'm running with that. And that's kind of like, that's the formula that I've had for a while. And now being around church and then I'm like, oh, that was right. I had that right. Yep. And now just kind of, you know, apply some of the other stuff I've been learning, you know, as we move forward. So. Yeah,
it solidified that you were doing what you should have been doing.
Yeah, for sure. It did.
Yeah. And you can hear it in your music, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was kind of shocking to see because you're funny on that. I've watched a lot of the shorts and you got some of it's just off the wall. Like you said, you're just freestyling. It's clips. We don't really know what it attached to, but I expected it to be more like a comedic rap, not knowing who you were as an artist, but then you got some real shit in there. You, like you said, you might talk about hocus pocus and lemonade in this, but you're also talking about real things that you've gone through in your life, like pushing pounds to get out. A lot of people are like, oh, he's talking about drugs. No, actually he's talking about prior to my lifestyle. Now I had to do what I had to do to make it out. And And I think that's badass, man.
No, bro, I think that's really cool you say that, because I don't look at it like that because it's me, right? So seeing you come in, you learned about me through church, and then you see the wild card stuff, for you to be like, oh yeah, that's probably gonna be like some trolly, like and it's like that's even more exciting for me. It's like, cause bro, I make good songs and I can rap my ass off. So it's like, it's even better that I have that contrast, because we really are crazy and off the wall and wild and goofy. But then if you come to my music side of shit, it's like, bro, I'm a real artist, and like I take making quality music is such a big priority in my life, that I think it's cool that people might expect that, and then they get the other, because it's just like, you know.
Yeah, bro, but I'm telling you, like,
you know what I mean?
Just the way you can kind of freestyle into your comedy, that incorporating that comedy into a rap song I'm telling you, bro, like I was looking for something like that. I'm like, yo, when is he gonna put some of these little one-line funny ass things in his rap that he does? Yeah, because you got the energy too, bro. Like your energy, you definitely have like a Southern hip hop vibe. And it, like I said, it sounds more like an R&B rap, but I've heard some rap from you that kind of blew me away. I'm like, yo, this dude can really rap.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro.
I pointed you out to Flawed. You know who Flawedzilla is? Flawed likes that like how do you say it? Melody, I can't say melodic rap. And that's kind of like how you are.
Yeah, he was. Oh, I think I actually saw you in that chat. Randomly, I went on YouTube one day and they were reviewing Blue Jeans, and I did see you because I was like, "Oh, hold up, man, it's Kurt." But yeah, he was showing me hella love, and like again, like I just feel like people have no idea what to expect, and that's perfect, bro. You know, because I don't want them to be like, "This is this guy, and this is the kind of music we're gonna hear." It's like, nah. I want them to be like, "What is he dropping next?" Because this is some other shit, and it's crazy because even church, like we're out there. And he's like, yo, shout out. I just seen some of the comments. Yo, shout out to Love, shout out Ords, and shout out Decon Blue. But even out there, he was like, bro, I love the podcast clips. He's like, let's do some comedy shit together too. So it's like, it opens up a world, because church is hilarious. I mean, obviously y'all know he's the biggest troll. But like in person, hanging out with him, very few people can keep up with me and my boy Dub, and he does. And he kind of said the same thing about us. He's like, very few people can like keep up with my troll energy and just like how I'm bouncing from serious to funny. And he's like, and y'all are right there with me. And I think that that's something that we connected on, was kind of being able to bounce too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I heard I was shocked. I think it is Lonestar. I said it on the album review. I'm like, yo, this is pretty dope. Church kind of lets you take the lead on that. Like, ain't that the one where you kind of controlled the hook?
Oh, the motion picture.
Motion picture, that's what it was.
Life is like a movie.
Yeah. And I thought that was dope that he allowed you to kind of take the lead on that track and just run with it. That one, it was a banger to end the track with, to end the album with.
And it's crazy too, because I think I heard you say Church is a hook god, bro.
Yeah.
Like his hooks are like some of my favorite shit that he does. It's his hooks. And I was super shocked, that he was like, I'm gonna put that on the album too. I was like, for real?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, for sure. He's like, I love it. And the crazy part is we had just wrapped up Lingo and Lonestar the first night. And we literally left at like 4 a.m. Like, cool, when we all wake up, we'll get back to the studio. So that next afternoon, I get there before them. They told me they were going to be there. And I was like, cool, I'm just going to go a little early. He had already told me what beats that he was looking at and he liked. And so I would just grab that one beat. And me and the dude at the studio, we're kind of just vibing. I was like spinning some melodies out there. I was like, yeah, I'm going to try and lay this hook down before they get here and see if he likes it. Well, they show up halfway me doing the hook. And Church walks in. He's like, this is a fucking banger, bruh. And it was just immediately, he's like, we're running this. So I finished the hook. And while I'm finishing the hook, this dude writes his verse in like 15 minutes. Bruh, he comes in. I'm in Texas. All my exes live in Tennessee. And I was just like, this is fucking genius. Like, This dude is so dope. And the fact he was able to encapsulate, not only hyping me up and saying, I'm going to use the hook you're doing for my stuff because I like it that much, but then for him to write his verse in that such small amount of time. And it's like one of my favorite verses on the album. And I'm not just being biased because I'm on it. Yeah. But literally, when he's like, I'm in X's, all my Texas live in Tennessee, me mugging while I'm in the Lambo on the street, dodging potholes, smoking pot by the cedar tree. Like, that whole shit is so hard to me. And that's when I knew, I was like, yo, me and this dude, like, we click just on an energy, on like more than just music or more than clout or trying to be cool. It was just on some like energy shit. Like, it just really worked out. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed when I heard that he allowed you to kind of take control of that song. You got to give props to somebody that has the level of success that he has, and he's still learning from other people. Like I don't think people give him that credit. And for you to come on here and say that they allowed kind of you guys to put your input in on the music videos, that shows the success that he has is gained by allowing others to help him learn. You know what I mean? People want to say, how do you do it? How's it done? Just be you, do you, and allow the people around you to be successful. You know what I mean? Like not allow them, but help create success through your music.
Yeah. And the way I kind of put it to some people that I've talked to is like, yo, Upchurch got a lot of light, bro. He's a very bright person. And he possesses a lot of light. And a lot of people on the internet all the time, they're trying to grab pieces of that light, right? But I really had no idea how bright his light was until I linked up with him. And he like shared some of that with me, right? Like he didn't need to post me on his Instagram. His platform is mega compared to mine. Right. He, like, you know what I mean? Like he's such a has such a big following. But then not only does he post me a couple of times, he makes songs with me. He puts them out, puts me on his album. And it was like, bro, like that right there shows me how genius he is. Because he's constantly evolving as an artist. All of his albums sound different because he's always moving and mentally like growing. And so like to even be willing to shine some of that light on me when he does not have to at all. He's fine with doing hooks without it. Lonestar would have been a banger without me, whatever. Yeah. But like he was able to do that, and it just let me know, kind of like you said, it's like, yo, it's really kind of genius because he's being influenced and he's, you know, feeding off the vibes and the energy that other people bring. And it just makes him even better. And more importantly, like his hunger for knowledge, like the amount of questions that he was asking me about Houston culture, Screwed Up Click, Pimp C, Bun B's. He's like asking me all this stuff. He's like, I know these guys, you know, tell me more about this. I'm like, yo, this dude is really just a student of the game. He's already found success and he's fucking killing it, obviously. But he still just wants to learn and make great music and just be a part of the culture. And I'm like, yo, that is very rare. I'm sure with most people who have the 3 million subscribers and the 1 million followers and all of that, they're already closed-minded. They're already closed off to being open to stuff like that. And I think that's why Church is so good and why he's so relatable is because everybody sees that. Like even how he engages in the comments on his Instagram and stuff, he don't have to do that. No. They're going to watch the video regardless, but he's so just sharing his light all the time. And I'm like, bro, like that is the formula for longevity. And that's why Church is going to be around for a long fucking time.
That's facts, bro. Because when he put out The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia and he talks about the blue bonnet, I'm like, yo, ain't that the Texas state flower? The blue bonnet?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I heard that, and then there's more in there too, that he talked about, like he really must have grabbed like a Texas history book and started opening the pages and really reading into the culture that he was coming into before he went into it. And that's dope.
Bro, that's dope. Super dope. It was super dope. And again, like, I mean, I don't know if you know like the story on how we linked, but it was very random. B Loose was asking me to get them some studio time in Houston. And then I did. I was like, oh yeah, I'll link you up with my boy, whatever. Y'all, it's dope ass studio. Lock y'all in. And B Loose already knew Kalani. So he's like, we're going to go to Kalani's and we want to go somewhere else just to keep, you know, get networking going and try working with different producers. Right. So they go to the studio and then he hits me. He was like, hey, pull up. You know what I mean? Like, I'll come to our crib before we go. Let's smoke, chop it up. I want you to meet Church. Bro, B Loose didn't tell him I was an artist. I walk in. I don't mention the fact that I make music. Me and Upchurch are now talking for like 3 or 4 hours about Houston culture, about country music, about Tennessee culture. And then he's like, so how do you know B Loose? And I was like, oh, I'm an artist. He used to shoot my videos when he still lived in Houston. He was like, you're an artist? So I didn't even tell him, bro. I didn't go in there like, hey, man, check out my music at all. Yeah. I didn't even mention it. We're 4 hours into hanging out. And then he finally was like, well, let me hear your music. And I showed him Oh My and Demons. And he's like, bro, he's like, we're making songs tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say that this dude's popping. You know, we'll see what happens. First thing in the morning, next day, he gave me my number. He's like, studio tonight, fam, let's get it. I'm like, holy shit, he's for real. And that's just, I mean, it was so random and organic and it was nothing forced about it. You know what I mean? We became friends first before he even knew that I was a rapper. Like period. So I think
that's the best way to do it, bro. And he's put out so much music. Like in his career, he's put out a lot of music. But if you look in this last year, I mean, you can't keep up with the amount of stuff that he's putting out. That shows worth ethic. I can't talk today. Ethic.
Yeah, work ethic. Yeah, I hear you, dude. I do that all the time.
I'm a stoner just like you, dog. So sometimes my brain just falls out right out.
Yeah, I do it a lot where I say the first letter of the second word on the first word, and like I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, bro, I'm telling you, like it's funny. Like when you started talking about, because you said I asked you about having more music. You don't have a lot of music out currently, but you did have a large amount of music out. The stoner mentality that you got, you can't get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? You can tell all day long that you're a stoner.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about your prior, because you did make some music prior to this run on Spotify.
Man. So it was, my name of now it's just T2, but before it was T2 Ghetto Hippie, and it was a nickname that somebody gave me in England. We were tripping on mushrooms actually around a bonfire, and I'm freestyling, and they're like, "Nate, you're a ghetto hippie, bro." So I just ran with it. I was like, "Yo, dude, I'm tripping balls." I'm like, "Yo, this is it. I'm going back, going back to Houston, about to kill the game." And we did a really good job, bro. Like I was getting a lot of attention. I was doing shows with Slim Thug and Paul Wall, Mike Jones, Baby Bash. I had songs on the radio here. I had sold songs and licensed songs to HBO, Showtime, ESPN. And like we had just started getting some traction, and a bunch of wild shit happened in my life. I was doing way too many drugs and partying way too hard. Kind of had to step back. And then I lost who was my manager and also one of my best friends. He died in a car crash. And all of that was happening kind of at the same time. And it made me have to like take a step back. And I was like, yo, I've accomplished a lot, but I don't want to be known for the drugs and the partying and the stoner shit, right? I am those things, but most importantly, I'm an artist, bro. So like, I'm going to simplify the whole thing. I'm just going to be T2 and we're going to run that. And, you know, that's kind of like how it all happened. And looking back, I think it was the best decision I made, because had I stuck on that path, I probably would have more followers, probably would be getting more views. My traction and momentum at the time was going crazy in Houston. I mean, I don't know if you know who Maxo Cream is, but I had just done a song with Maxo, just done a song with Billy Rax, just did a song with Dizzy Wright. Everybody's like looking at me, and I was like, yo, I don't want this. I don't want to be known for this. And I pulled back, dude. And like I had to really kind of grieve my homie. Like his phone number was my contact and my Instagram for years. It took me like a year after he died to even remove it and change the number, because it was so like detrimental. And in that grieving time, and in the time I was like, stop sipping, because I was sipping a lot of cough syrup, stop sipping lean, stop doing drugs, kind of wanted to rebrand. And I took a step back, came back in with just the T2, had the Oh My, did the Demons, and then all of it. Some people might think I'm crazy because I had so much eyes on me when I pulled back. But in my heart, I know I made the right move, because that's not who I was anymore. Like I grew out of that. And I just, you know, I decided to be true. Like I could have kept that momentum going, but I would have hated the success when I got there. And now when I get there, because it's on the way, it's going to be so authentic. And that's what I want more than anything. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, that's why the music sounds like it does. Because it's who I really am, and it's what I really like. As to where before I think I was trying to make music to appease certain demographics and audiences. And it's like, yeah, we ain't doing that no more.
I picked it up in Demons. Like I could have probably told you that you have a good way of expressing that in your music, because just listening to a little bit of music I heard that there was a T2 prior to what I'm hearing now that did some crazy shit in his life, and he didn't want to be that dude anymore. And now this is the new T2 that you're getting. So shout out to you for that. And I respect the hell out of that. I rather listen to an artist grow from very small amount of numbers that has that, the impact that you can make in somebody else's life that doesn't understand that change is possible is important.
Yeah.
Because I went through some serious shit, bro. I've been in a lot of trouble. I did a lot of drugs in my life. I fucked up my future. And I'm still repairing those things to this day. You know what I mean? There's things that I'll never be able to do because of my past. So I totally understand the rebranding, and I respect the hell out of that.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, it was a tough decision, man. And I was working with a publicist in New York, and she was like, "You are tripping, bro. You're like, she was like, you have NPR highlighting you as an artist to look out for. You just got a song with Maxo, and Maxo was super popping. He just signed to Rock Nation at the time, and he loves me. And she's like, why would you want to step back now? I know you lost your friend, but why would you want to step back? And I'm like, because it's not me anymore. Right. I don't want to. I've been in it for a couple years now. I would rather wait a couple more and do it my way and do it how I want than to be stuck in this cycle of negativity, bro. It was a rough time. I'm really from the southwest side of Houston, and like I came up, how I came up was definitely rough. And it was like, I'm not gonna let my past influence my future in a negative way. I'm gonna learn
anymore, right? Anymore, yeah. I get what you're saying because
I'm gonna learn from the past and then seize fate by the fucking throat and make the future what I wanted and not what I was supposed to be destined for. Nah, I'm changing the trajectory, and I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna do the music how I want, and I'm gonna do the branding how I want. And bro, like I got an emo side, like I got a goofy side. It's not all drugs and gangster shit. Like that's just not who I am. So it's like I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm just gonna focus on what I think sounds good, what makes my heart feel good when I press play on the song I just did in the studio. If that makes me feel good, that's what we're running with. And it's kind of cool because I took that momentum of the step back and had a whole new approach. And in that time, I had the least amount of traction that I had in a couple years, but that's when I met church. You know what I mean? And it's just like
it works. It worked out. Yeah, like I get what you're saying. Like you threw. A lot of people wouldn't have done that, bro. A lot of people would have ran with that fake persona, and they would have just kept going, and they would have had that same regret later on in life when they looked at all their fame and success off of something that they're not. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you for doing that. And like you did what you had to do. You put out your music and look at how it worked. You made a friend out of it. That friend ended up having a huge influence in a musical community. You're making music videos. You're doing a lot of things that people dream of doing. And you did it just by being yourself.
Yeah, man. It's really crucial to me that I did that, because I do think sometimes like, damn, bro, like I had A&Rs reaching out to me and everything. Yeah. It was like, I probably could have stayed on that path and I would be a bigger artist than I am now, but this shit feels way better. You know,
it wouldn't be real. It wouldn't be authentic. It would just be a bunch of people just there because it was trending, or it was, you know what I'm saying? It was the mainstream just puts you out as that one artist, and they only love you for that one thing. They don't love you for you as a person.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of what I like so much about church, bro, is that the person I just hung out with in Nashville for a week with is the exact same person on YouTube. It's the exact same person on Instagram. It's the exact same person when he goes live. Like it really is him. You know what I mean? And that kind of, it resonated with me like, yo, none of this is a front. Like, dude is really fucking wild. Like his mind works in such a peculiar way that leads to greatness. I mean, and again, just the conversations we're having, we're talking about aliens. Then we're talking about, like these kind of like conspiracy theories. Then we're talking about Texas culture. Then we're talking about going to the studio. Then we're talking about making comedy. And it was just like the way his mind works is so different to most people I know. But the person that I can relate it to the most is myself. And I'm like, yo, that is why this shit makes sense.
That bipolar thought process, bro.
It's just wild. I mean, he's a wild fucking dude, bro. Like, we're about to shoot a video. He's like, hey, you know what? He's like, let's fucking get in the Can-Am and go rip some donuts first. And everybody's like, wait, what? We're about to. He's like, nah, hold on, man. I got to show T what's up. Yeah. And it's just like, he just moves how he moves. And I'm like, yo, that's some shit that I would do if he came to Houston. I'd be like,
that's the video where you were recording and you guys were just whipping shitties I thought you were in the Lambo there for a minute.
No, dude, we were in the Can-Am, pitch black, 2 a.m, and dude is going like 60 miles an hour. When I tell you that my balls were in my throat, dude, I was freaking out. I'm from the city, dog. Like I was not expecting this shit at all. And they're telling me about ticks and chiggers and these different bugs to look out for. And I'm like, bro, hell no. Like, shower me and off. It's like, let's get to it. But I really got a taste of like that country life. And it was really, really dope. And like just where he lives, bro, it's so beautiful that it kind of inspired me. Like, I've always been like, yo, I want to stay in the city. But the more that I'm like, as I get older and the more I realize what peace of mind is, like, yo, I kind of want a spot in the country like a motherfucker, dude. You know what I mean? Like, for real.
Yeah, because from what I've heard, Houston's pretty crazy, bro. Like, you're in the city, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. I actually just saw someone say that they were in Alief Kaz, I think. Oh yeah, she's been showing love too. But yeah, like the Southwest in Houston is bruh, it's rowdy. You know what I mean? Like it really is. And like, I mean, when I went to England, I almost went to jail for a really long time, and I kind of had to leave the country. And like when I got out there, and this was, you know, quite a while ago, but when I left, I started to realize like, yo, not everywhere is like Houston. Like I thought that Houston was the norm. And once I started traveling and going to all these different places, I was like, Houston's fucking nuts, dude. Like we are.
Oh,
wild.
you were trying to you were trying to wild out in the UK like you would in Houston, and you got jammed up. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
I mean, bro, I mean, I'll never forget one of my first friends. They were trying to take me up this hill. I mean, I say a hill, it's like a baby mountain, you know what I mean? But this hill overlooked this entire city and all these farms and fields. And we had all this beer, and then we had a bunch of weed, and they're like, yo, let's climb up this hill. We're gonna overlook everything. We're gonna make a fire and just have a little kickback. And I have on some brand new Air Force Ones. And I remember looking at this dude. I'm like, bro, I can't. It's all muddy and shit. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna walk up there. And he put his shoe in the mud and then stepped on my shoe and smeared mud on it. He goes, mate, you're not in Houston anymore. Nobody gives a fuck about the dirt on your shoes. It's about the memories we're about to make, bro. Let's go up this fucking hill and have a fucking spliff. And I was like, oh my God. And it just completely warped my brain to like how different Houston is to everywhere else. And it is a kind of a preserved culture in a lot of way. And I don't want to be that. Like I am Houston, but I don't want to be stuck in Houston. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts, bro. I was from a big city. I grew up in like Clearwater, Pinellas County in Florida, in a big city, Tampa. I don't know if I'm sure you've heard of Tampa.
Yeah, I've been in Tampa, yeah.
And now being in Spring Hill up in the woods, it's a relief, dude, but it'll follow you, bro. These country neighborhoods are turning into cities left and right.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild to see too, because it's like, I don't think that if you don't go to like Tampa, for example, you may not think about Tampa as a crazy place, but if you're in Tampa and you're in the mix, you're like, oh shit, this shit's kind of crazy.
Yeah, downtown Ybor City, you're like, what's going on? This
exactly, dude. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, you know, you gotta know to know, and if you don't know, you're gonna find out. You know what I mean?
It's like, almost better to start your life in a city and move to the country because you have that city knowledge. You know what's out there. I see a lot of people from the country roaming to the city, and they're going down alleys that they shouldn't go down. They're hanging around people at the bars that they shouldn't be hanging around. They don't have the knowledge. And sometimes you can tell right away that the person's never been in the city. You are a city boy. You could tell. I mean, you got the chain, you're ready to go. Look, we both kind of have the same. Dude. Yeah. You ain't catching me in boots and a pearl snap. I mean, it's just not what that's not me. I used to wear boots to work and I couldn't stand it. It's like, man, I want me some Nike steel toe shoes.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know who Chucky Velvet is. He does.
Oh yeah. I seen he was out there with you guys doing one of the videos.
First off, dude is extremely talented musically. I heard a couple of hooks he did. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I thought you were the jeweler. And he played me some hooks. I'm like, oh, we doing a song. But secondly, we had a whole like 30-minute conversation about knowing when to tuck your chain, right? Yeah. Like it does not matter how hard you are, how dope you are, how much clout you have, where you're from. You got to know when it's time to tuck your chain. Because you're not supposed to walk down every alley, every street, every city with the chain out, especially if you're by yourself, especially at certain times of day, especially certain areas. And I think it's very crucial that, you know, everybody kind of knows that, like, there's not too much pride, bro. I'm keeping my shit, you know what I mean? And, like, I will fight. Like, I can squab, I can throw hands, and I'm not soft. Like, I'm not scared. But in certain areas, certain times, bro, I'm tucking my chain.
Would you guys have to walk through downtown Nashville in a certain area? And
that's where we were good. We were outside of the municipal smoking backwoods, chilling, but we were just talking about it because we were talking about jewelry. And he was asking me kind of about Houston and shit. And he was like telling me, you know, sometimes certain places you got to tuck your chain. You got to know when. And I'm like, that's such a good way to summarize, like just being socially aware and like being aware in the streets is like, you got to know when to tuck your chain.
Yeah, you're not afraid. It's not about being afraid. It's about like when I went to Memphis and I seen what was going on in downtown Memphis, when we went out somewhere and I went through certain areas, whoop.
Yep.
Put my hand, if I had a bracelet on, I put my hand over by my pocket just so you couldn't see it dangling. It's respect for it's respect for your own self that you're not going to get into I mean, people are just, you want to push it out and floss it. Somebody's going to reach out and take it.
Yeah, bro, or try to, and then you're gonna have to hurt them, or they're gonna end up trying to hurt you. And And sometimes, I mean, certain people, right, is different, right? Like church got literal security guards that these fools look like fucking active Navy SEALs ready to pounce on people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But not everybody's got that. And like, I'm really from the streets, bro. And it's like, I've been robbed at gunpoint. I've been in situations where we were getting shot at, and I've been stabbed. Like there's things that have happened to me in my life to now I know, oh, I'm tucking my chain. That where we're going right now, this barbershop that I'm about to walk to, this concert we're about to do, we're had to, come through the backstage alley and shit. Yep. I see some, yeah, dude. And it's there's no like, it doesn't hurt my pride to say that, bro. Like I'm really from the Southwest and I get down, but also you just got to be very socially aware. And, that's just something that's important. And I think it's cool though, because most people, especially rappers, will be like, hell no, I ain't ever tucking my shit. I ain't ever. And it's like, okay, bro, good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. Well, how is that living in that blend? Because I think about that. Like you have a lot of influences from the South in Texas because you guys are Southern, but you also get that West Coast Cali vibes smashed into it. How is it just a melting pot essentially, right?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of wild. Oh shit, what's up, Cardiac? Jeez. And I see y'all sharing the links. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, it's kind of wild because I think when most people hear about Houston, they don't really know what to expect, like at all. But really, we're the third biggest city, and we are just as much like oil and gas and dudes in cowboy hats as we are like gangbangers.
Big rims and gold teeth. Yeah.
Like, like grills. Jewelry, flashy shit. I mean, we have the slab.
Big belt buckles. You got big belt buckles. You got, I get you floating rims. Yeah.
The swangers, you know what I mean? That poke out, them 84.
That's what those are. Hold on. That's what those are called, swangers?
Yeah, they're called swangers. That
stick out way out the side of the
tower?
Yeah,
I added the A on it because that's the Southwest coming out to me, but it's really like a swanger, and that's like the name for them. And those are the 84s, and yeah, they literally like, here's the wheels. Yeah. Them bitches popping out like nipples, dude. Like that.
I follow some dude on Instagram that does systems, and you guys also like to put like LEDs in the trunk lid and leave the trunk open with the TV screens and the names and shit all over them. That's old school hip hop that I remember.
Bro, that's that H-Town shit, and that's like that's popping trunk. You know what I mean? Like, and if you slab riding, because slab means slow, loud, and banging, and if you in a candy Cadillac and you got the wrist poking and you popping trunk on fools, you got something to say in the neons. That's Houston culture. Yeah, it's wild because you could do that and then you pull that up to a steakhouse and you're valeting next to some white dude in a Range Rover with a cowboy hat on, and y'all get out of the valet at the same time and wait to get your table, and we're talking like friends. You know what I mean? And it's like, so it really is a melting pot because it's just so different, bro. And like, I mean, I've never owned swangers, but fuck, man, it's a part of my culture. You know what I mean? And if I get the right old school and the right timing, throw them on there.
Well, bro, did you guys get
very different, I think, to what people think. Sharpstown. Hey, man, I'm really from the Southwest. I know all about Sharpstown, Kaz. Quit playing.
Sharpstown. I don't know anything about Sharpstown, but yo, is the freaking did you have the pickup trucks that would slam them on the ground and throw the sparks down the interstate? They were like, they'd put the plates on the bottom, the S10s, and they'd hit the hydraulics on it. And
not as much. I have seen that in Houston, but I think that's more of a Cali thing. I don't know, but no, not quite as much though. I have seen it a little bit. We're now getting kind of, hey, Ords, what's up, my boy? Yo, Ords boy, I don't know if you know Ords. He's cool as shit.
Yeah, I see. He's a reactor, right?
Yeah. He's a reactor, dude. And we're doing a little gas station hat exchange right now. I'm getting him a hat from the hood store in Houston. He got me a hat. It's the whole thing. He's cool as shit. But yeah, no, I have seen that. No, the thing that's picking up in Houston right now is like the bike life, like the dirt bikes and the 4-wheelers. And they were big on that shit like in Philly and stuff. And now that's kind of coming down.
Oh, they're putting the big rims on the 4-wheelers. And
yeah, dude. And they're doing like all the crazy tricks. And I don't fucking know, bro. Like,
So the music scene, like, it's got to be popping then. If you got all that types of, I mean, it's got to be pretty easy to get like on open mics out there. Is that something you do?
It's kind of hard because there's so many people doing it and so many people are bad that, and I'm not even trying to throw jabs, but bro, so many horrible artists that just don't care about quality music. They're just trying to get clout and followers, that I feel like it's watered down those open mic situations, or like even trying to get on a show with 10 other artists because everybody's so bad. The crowds come for one person, and once that person's done, everybody leaves. Yeah. Like I got lucky that I had enough kind of traction to where I was only doing bigger shows at the bigger venues, and it was all like high production value. And I'm working with artists who are traveling into town. You know, I opened up for Freddie Gibbs and Vince Staples and Burner and like all these different people that actually had good followings. So I was able to navigate out of that quickly. But yeah, the Houston music scene, man, like you're really going to find it on the internet, because the people that are doing it here, they're not really doing it, bro. It's like
watered down. I get what you're saying. There's so many people
like,
doing it.
Yeah. At their crib. They don't want to get their songs mixed. They don't want to have a show version. So it's just all vocal backing the whole way through. There's no real concept. There's no real structure to the song in a sense that's not about shit. And then they're like, why don't people want to jam it? It's like, bro, this is fucking horrible. Like, you know what I mean?
You know, I hear you, because you ever heard of a cat named Highway? He's out of Humboldt County. He's a rapper, and he talks about that a lot, bro.
I met him, actually. I used to go out to Northern Cali a lot, you know, so yeah.
He says that he does a lot of these shows. He's like, the quality that these people want to do, and then they leave, and then you got your set ready to go, and all the fans have left because the people in front of you just didn't give a shit about the quality of the music. So I could see it's a fight. It's a struggle. That sucks.
Yeah, no, dude. And like, if you look at it, right, like, I don't know how familiar you are with all these people. Obviously, Travis Scott, you know, right?
Yeah.
His whole Astroworld, screwed up, kind of H-Town vibes. He didn't do any of that in Houston. He did all that from Cali and New York, and he was working on it. There was no Travis Scott come up in Houston, right? Then you look at the Sauce Twins. I don't know if you know about Sauce Walker and the Sauce Twins, right?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Again, they're some of the biggest dudes out here in Houston. They did it on Worldstar. They did it on YouTube. They didn't do it going to the local shows and getting their buzz. Meg Thee Stallion, bro, I never heard of her or seen her, and I was very active in the scene. She did it outside of Houston, and she made it. Maxo blew up off SoundCloud. All of these people that I'm talking about that are like the biggest names in Houston, none of them really did it by doing stuff in Houston, because it's just like diluted and oversaturated. And it's unfortunate, dog, because this is my home and I love Houston, but musically, like, you got to branch out. And I was lucky because the avenues I was able to kind of swing down were bigger scale and, like, you know what I mean, had a little more quality and value. But most of these local dudes, man, they never get those shots. And you know, it kind of opened my eyes to like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I have a minimum now to do a show. Like, because if they can't afford to book me for that price, that means the production value is going to be low. That means that the promoter is doing a bad job. It's not going to be a good quality show. So I'm not doing it. I would rather not make that money and save my own value and my self-worth than do that. So yeah, it's like I had really quickly, I had to realize not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Not all money is good money. And, you know, you got to pick and choose your battles to really kind of be significant out here.
Yeah, you ain't catching T2 playing at the local rodeo.
That ain't happening, bro.
Unless they're paying that booking fee, and
unless it's the big dog rodeo in the big stadium. Nah, dude. I'm just, you know, because I did it early on, and I learned real quick. You know, like, I'm bringing in sets, literally building sets to bring on stage, and then like I'm supposed to have 25 minutes. At like minute 12, they're like, last song. And I'm like, bro, I just spent X amount of money and hours building the set. We have all these interludes. We have this lighting system, everything going. And I was never able to really kind of shine how I wanted to, because I was being stifled by just the culture of the Houston music scene. So I did. I was like, nope. I was like, my focus is behind the scenes, songwriting, getting songs on TV shows and movies and stuff, and doing stuff on the internet, because the Houston scene is, I'm going to take Houston with me, but I ain't going to get stuck here. I promise you that.
Yeah, you definitely, you have the knowledge of how to make content. I won't even say it as music. Like, I see the way you're moving. You understand that, you know, sometimes you don't have to take this route to get there. You're taking the route you want to take. Yeah. And you talked about that in the beginning. It's not about selling your soul. It sounded like when you made the music as the hippie, you were targeting smokers, right? And that was a thing that was popping, really popping. It's always going to be popping. And I see that you said, you know what, I'm not taking that shortcut, rebranding, and I'm going and doing T2 music. I'm doing the music I want to do.
100%, bro. I'm trying to be universal for real. Like, if it's a niche audience or a niche product that's for a niche audience, that ain't it. You know, and like, look at Church, bro. And like, again, it's just the thing that blew my mind about him. I was like, I knew very little of Upchurch. I knew B-Loose was working with him. I've seen his troll videos before I ever saw his music or listened to his music. It was all troll videos. Like, this guy's funny. First song I heard from Upchurch was Hillbilly. Hillbilly, 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 hillbilly.
Hey.
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of jamming, but what the fuck is going on here? Like Hillbilly, like, you know, and then I start listening. I'm like, okay, some country rap shit. Didn't really understand. And then next song I hear, he's like singing. And then the next song I hear, he's doing like a rock vibe. And they had like a rock video. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like, I thought from the song Hillbilly, my first assumption, this is niche. By song 5, I was like, nah, dude, this dude is universal. Right. And I think that is very clear cut. Just like the stoner shit will always be a part of me, that country shit will always be a part of church. But he has so much more to offer than that. And that's kind of how I feel about myself, which is why I chose to rebrand and focus on just being an artist and not a niche artist.
Bro, you ever thought about having Kalani take one of your old tracks, get a sample out of it, of you, take the beat and just remix that thing to like, man, that would be dope.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never thought about it, but that might be a stroke of genius right there, brother.
Yeah, a little sample, rip something out of it.
Kalani's a sample god, bro. That fool is so talented. And again, I can't speak on too much because a lot of the stuff that we got going is not for me. It's for them. Yeah. But me and Kalani got some stuff cooking that we're trying to, man, bro. Kalani's a genius. And I think that what him and Church have done is really, really cool. I feel like we got some of the Church's best rapping on Kalani's beats, right? Like Church does country stuff. He sings, he does stuff with all these other people. But when it came to rap, I feel like what he just did on Blue Jeans was supreme. And that really had a lot to do with how Kalani produced the album as well. And I think that's a killer duo. And me and Kalani have been cool for a long time, but now we're working on songs together.
It's game over. Yeah, it's game over.
Give them some Tylenol PM because they going to sleep, bro. Because it's night. You know what I mean? Like, we putting them down. Yeah, it's cool.
It's exciting to watch Church work with you guys because, like I said, man, a lot of people like dream of these opportunities. You know what I'm saying? They really do. And you weren't looking for it. That was one of my questions I had for you. Did you understand his success in this Southern hip hop lane prior to meeting him? And it sounds like you really didn't even truly understand that it wasn't just country rap. It was country music. It was rap. It's rock. It's whatever he feels like doing. And to work with artists. I mean, you're from where? Where'd you say it was? Ecuador?
Yeah, I was born in Ecuador, bro.
You're born in Ecuador. You live in Houston. You never even listened to this man's music. And you guys had an album that you were on that hit #1 and sat there for a while as an independent artist.
Crazy. Bro, when I tell you, first off, shout out to Creek Squad, right? I love y'all motherfuckers. Y'all are amazing. And y'all been sending me so much positive vibes that it fuels positivity for the rest of my life outside of music. Because it's like, I know I'm great. And the thing about music, it's all subjective. I can make what I think is my best song and nobody likes it. Right. And I don't need the reassurance, but getting it so organically from these people is amazing. So it's like Church, like what Church has created with Creek Squad and like what that community is only comparable to what I could think of is like Drake or maybe like Taylor Gang at Wiz's prime. But like it's very few huge artists who are able to kind of formulate such a strong knitted community. And like I had no idea about none of it, bro. I knew Church had a lot of followers and I knew he was funny. And then when B-Luce kind of told me about him, I looked him up real briefly and I was like, okay, this dude's dope. He's a country rapper. And then I kept going and diving and deeper and deeper. I was like, oh, this dude's amazing. But like, I really didn't know until after I met him because the only song I had heard at that time was Hillbilly. And I'll tell you this, he had the Pioneer album on his phone, right? Yeah. So when I first met him and I showed him Demons and Oh My, he started showing me songs like Desperado.
Magic Mountain,
bro. Yeah. Silver Circles. And he's showing me this shit and I'm like, oh my God, bro, this dude is like a fucking superstar.
You're like, this dude's about to drop a rap album. This would blow me away. That was a rap album, and he wasn't even rapping on that motherfucker a lot. He was singing on a lot of it. It was awesome that he did that.
It was so like refreshing to not that I had stereotyped him or I had a certain pretense, but it was so refreshing to have my mind blown by somebody who was so humble. Because usually people who are that talented, they're not going to embrace the situation with me like he did. They're not going to shine that light on me like he did. He's being the nicest guy ever. He's like, we're going to make songs, go to the studio. And I'm like, cool. And then he starts showing me more of his music. I'm like, bro, this dude is so talented. It's so hard for me to find people that I feel like can keep up with me just talent wise in music. I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm serious.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this dude's amazing. And so when we did get in the studio, first one that we did was Lonestar. I mean, I knew right then and there, I was like, yeah, it's over with. Like, me and this dude really about to make some big records. And like, and again, in Lonestar, he's asking me like, what do you think about this line? I'm like, oh, maybe change that word. He's like, fuck yeah. And then I was like, maybe I'll try like a stack in the background. And on the hook, I have a low end stack. I'm singing behind his vocals. And I come out and I'm immediately like, yo, it sounded good before that. You don't have to keep that on there. He was like, I fucking love it, bro. We're keeping it on there.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just
yeah.
like, this dude's great, dog. You know what I mean? It's really,
it comes down to he's a good person overall, regardless of being an artist.
100%. 100%. He embraced me, my best friend, and our photographer in Nashville. Like, we were family, bro. And the only time we had ever hung out before was in Houston. And that one weekend, you know what I mean? So what he does musically is incredible. What he does as a human, I think, is just as incredible. And like the people around him, they're all super dope. The community around him with Creek Squad, like they're so loyal to him because he's so loyal to them and he's so authentic and such a good dude that it all makes sense. And again, I don't know none of this shit. So now we drop lingo and I get like 300 DMs, bro. Like, no lie. Hey, Creek Squad supporting you, fam. Creek Squad in this bitch for life. And I'm like, I love the Creek Squad. Like, this is great. And it was so organic. None of it felt forced. None of these fools felt like they were trying to get to Upchurch through me, or they were trying to get on my good side because I was cool with Upchurch. It was like, no, Upchurch shined some of his light that we all love on you, and now we're embracing you too.
That's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a beautiful thing how I see it when he shares videos. Like, he shared my reactions before, and people come in here because of Upchurch. Salute, appreciate you. It's like, yo, that's badass. That shining that light, man, that's important in music. That's important in anything. Like, showing the next person the love that you've been shown, because everybody gets here some way. You know what I'm saying? Through music, through life, you're taking a path and you're getting help. You're falling down, you're getting up, you're that dude that shows he shows steps, and he shows a person take 2 steps and get knocked down 2 more steps and then go up 3 steps and get knocked down 3 more. Like, church is that shining light that helps you keep walking up your steps at sometimes. He's the person that kind of verified that what you're doing is right. And I heard you say it. Hey, I was doing my own thing. He said, hey, I'm doing the same thing, and similar to just put it out when you want to put it out. Don't worry about the rollouts. Don't worry about molding yourself how somebody else wants you to be. And that's important, dude.
Very important. And I think that people, when they reach that level of success, it's easy to forget that. And it's wild to me how he hasn't forgot it. And
you've been artist for how long?
Me or him?
You.
Like 10 years, maybe. Like, officially, like, trying. Like, I was rapping in the lunch line my whole life, right?
Yeah.
But like, actually putting music into it, putting money into the music and expecting to get money back, making music, getting paid to do music, getting paid to do features, all of that. Yeah, maybe like 9-10 years.
You got to pat yourself on the back then too, because you went into this to a country ass dude singing hillbilly, 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 with you having more of a rap. It sounds like, in my opinion, you're more of a core rap artist that grew up pushing pounds to get out of his old lifestyle, right? And here you are sitting in a studio with this country ass dude taking advice from him. So you have to pat yourself on the back and go, at least I'm able to still keep an open mind 10 years into this music industry about somebody that I don't even know, and he doesn't have the same style as me. I see these dudes walk around, how many country motherfuckers all day long outside on the street? How many times did you think you were going to be taking musical advice from them?
Never, bro. And yeah, it is wild. And I do pat myself on the back because I am able to adapt, and like, I'm really a good dude as well. Like, you know, I'm a little rough around the edges and I put in my dirt, but I'm really like, I think that the human experience is about interaction, human to human.
100%.
And like, I love when I travel, I make friends everywhere. I don't know a stranger. And I don't care if I'm at a dinner table with a bunch of hood dudes from the Southwest, or at a dinner table with a bunch of white millionaire dudes, you know what I mean, in oil and gas. I'm making them all laugh the same, and I'm engaging in the conversation, whether it's about trapping, whether it's about politics, whether it's about money. It don't matter. Like, I can really do that, and it's something that I pride myself on. It's like one of my favorite qualities about myself. And I had no idea like I was going to be able to soak up so much or get along with church so well, because I didn't go in looking for that. I went in like, yo, my homie B Luz is in town. He got the artist he works with. Let's go link up and, catch a vibe.
What's up? Yeah, how are you? Nice to meet you.
What's up, G? I think we talked about paintball for like the first 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, and then we started talking about like trucks and cars. Then it went to Houston culture. Then went to country music. But it was just very much like, I really am from the city, and like, it doesn't matter if he's from the country because you got good energy, and I'm gonna connect with that, and that's what we're gonna build our foundation off of is the energy. And so. Yeah, and like, there it was, dude, after my homie died and after I kind of stepped back, I started getting those songs licensed. I got a couple on HBO, a couple on Showtime, the ESPN thing. And I was like, maybe I'm going to stay behind the scenes because there's good money there. And I was like, I'm going to stay behind the scenes and just do licensing and write songs for these, these networks.
Yeah.
And then kind of as I'm like, I'll still put out my own music a little bit. But I meet Church and he's like, bro, I don't know why you aren't more famous, bro. He's like, because you're a fucking star. He's like, I'm going to show the Creek Squad what's up with you. And I'm like, it just kind of like, he didn't need to do that. I was setting my path this way. And he kind of grabbed the reins of the wagon, grabbed the horses and shit, pulled him the other direction. And I was just like, this dude's a G, bro, for real, Well,
not only that, like I can see your type of personality, you would probably run from the mainstream once you got there. Like I get the idea behind it because you already had to kind of rebrand a situation because of something that you knew you weren't. Why would you want to try to have to rebrand T2? Because they're going to mold you in a sense to only do what they want you to do. It's going to be fun to watch you make mistakes. It's going to be fun to watch you put out shit that you don't do well on. That's a part of being an independent artist.
Yeah, man. No, and I think you're right. And I think that's something that me and Church also kind of connect on like a human level is we don't like the mainstream. Like I don't want to make songs that are just good for mainstream. I want to make songs that I like. And if a bunch of people like them, fuck yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah. But I don't want to play your game. I want to play my game. You know what I mean? Like I want to run my own route. And I think that Church is the epitome of that. I think that there's very few artists you could put in comparison to Church when it's like doing his own thing and, driving down his own lane. And so I think you're absolutely right. If once I get to a higher level of success, I feel like I'm going to find myself reverting back to doing the shit I wanted to doing now.
Right.
Like, I don't want that vibes. You know what I mean? I want what I do now, just at a bigger scale. That's it.
Yeah. Well, like the connection of your music, you can hear that T2 is still T2, but you definitely have that emo, more somber rap style. But then you come out with Lingo and I'm like, yo, what's going on? Then Motion Picture and then Lonestar. So like your movement is great, bro, because you don't know what to expect. You're very sporadic. So I'm excited for these videos that we got coming because knowing that it changes a lot. This interview changed a lot for me because knowing the personal connection you guys have as a friendship of the conversations is going to make the video that much better.
Oh, bro, they're good. Oh, I don't want to say they're.
No,
it's good. Lonestar is good. I'm not even gonna talk about the other one yet.
No.
But Lonestar, I mean, bro, I watched it today. B-Lou sent me a little sneak peek last night. A little private link, and I was like, ooh, okay, all right. And I seen Church post that little snippet, and I was like, yeah, buddy, it's really going down. And we're in that arena, bro. It is great because we're smoking backwards,
chilling in the municipal,
completely empty. And I'm like, yo, we're really. It's funny because I said my life is like a movie, and everybody watching now, and it's like, yo, this shit really like a movie, and everybody's finna be watching now. So it's like, yo, like you speak into existence, bro.
I wish you would have got to feel the energy inside of that motherfucker full with people there, Creek Squad in the arena, dude. The feeling that I was right standing in the pit, right in front of the stage. What the people on stage had to been feeling, what Church had to be feeling during that, I couldn't even fathom how. Yeah, I mean, it was unreal, dude.
He was telling me, bro. They were telling me all about the show, and even like Pops, who was the security guard, he's been working there for like 30 years, old school black dude, cool as shit. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I remember y'all being here 2 nights in a row. He's like, y'all motherfuckers did something crazy. And B-Luz and Church were telling me like how crazy it was. They're like, man, that's sick. And
bro, the cameras in that, like, that's why when I seen all that, I'm like, yo, they're gonna bring that feeling back of the municipal, dude. They're gonna make everybody that ever experienced being in the municipal experience it all over again.
Yeah, bro, it was really cool, man. And it was really cool that they had history there. And like even like the dressing room that I was in, like Elvis that was his dressing room at one
point. The green room, yeah, the green room.
All of the tickets on the wall and seeing how many people, like how much history and culture that place has. And then there's me, my Houston Southwood ass, smoking a backwood, like, yo, this is tight.
Where Elvis smoked the backwood, you're just sitting in there burning one down.
Bro, this shit's crazy. Yo, I do gotta ask, what is a rooster? I just saw Sasha Johnson, who I've seen before. She goes, we got a rooster from Ecuador. What does that mean?
The logo, Creek Squad, of the rooster on the.
Oh yeah,
really,
okay, I get it. Yeah, I love it. And like all of the boys in church's camp, they all wear the shirts with the rooster on it. Okay, that makes sense. I did smoke right before, and I'm drinking like a 40-ounce White Claw right now. So it took me a second. I was like, rooster. I was like, did I say something like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
And you got the rooster. Well, you got longer hair, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you got a little, yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro. You are so like from the front, you look like you're just clean cut, ready to go. I'm hanging out, I'm kicking it. I got the white, what'd you say, the forces on, clean forces, bam. Then you drop the back. I seen it on one of your album covers. You got the longer hair. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's got long hair. I didn't even know that. I watched how many other videos when you had your hat on backwards. I had no idea.
Good, bro. It's nice to, catch them by surprise. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, like, I hung out with this girl not too long ago, and I met her like on Instagram, whatever. I meet her in person. She's like, "You have long hair?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, I have long fucking hair. I've had long hair for a long time." She's like, "I've looked at your pictures like 1,000 fucking times. I didn't realize you had long hair." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it is funny when people kind of hear it." And the thing, I wear it down a lot too, but like, I think my signature look is the hat with the bun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Colors. So yeah, no, that's funny though, because a lot of people don't even
realize. Even the Instagram post when you and Church were outside of the studio, I think, and you were like kneeled down with your phone out, you couldn't tell you had long hair there either.
Yeah, well, it's there, boy. I'm looking real Tommy Chong-ish some of these things, you know what I mean?
Bro, I can't wait. I wonder when this music video drops. Monday. So is it tonight at midnight this thing's gonna come rolling out? Who knows with Church?
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna, I was told a certain time tomorrow, but boy,
who knows?
I would be a fool to hold to it because that fool's gonna do exactly what he wants. You know what I mean?
I can't wait, dog. I cannot wait, man. It's been fun, bro. I'm telling you, I'm excited for an album. I sense music coming from you, and I can't wait for it.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot. I've had some in the vault before all this. In the past like month or two, I've really went hard, and like, I got more stuff coming for sure. There's gonna be more stuff with me in Church for sure. That's all I'll say about that right now. But yeah, I'm about to go crazy. And the thing is I was kind of saving some of these songs to try and get on, TV shows or commercials or any of that. And now I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna put out my own shit, dude. Like, I'm not going to try and play a game and aim to land a certain shot, bro. I'm just going to shoot all the shots. And whatever goes in, baby. You know what I mean?
You never know. It's that one time you just let that thing go. And then next thing you know, the whole world knows who T2 is. You can't predict that, bro. I think the most of the time, the more natural approach to that, you're going to last longer. You're gonna live out your brand a lot longer. I mean, look at Creek Squad, like you said, that's a great example. Early on, that thing was probably, oh man, you're never gonna be successful off this. You're never gonna do it right. This ain't the right way to do it. And now look at it,
dude. 100%, bro. Like truly, like I think that's the right way. And I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm gonna be the Ecuadorian Texas rooster, bro. Like she said, dog. Now, yeah.
Why not, dog?
Now, I'm super into the Creek Squad thing too, bro, because I've just never seen it. Like I'm cool with a lot, and I don't want to,
offend,
name drop or offend. But I'm cool with a lot of artists who are maybe more established than me, have a bigger follower than me, and some would consider famous. And none of them, not one of them, have a community or even like a following, a loyalty, an energy that Church and Creek Squad have. And the fact that he was able to shine that little bit of light on me, and all y'all crazy motherfucking Creek Squad motherfuckers came in and just, we rocking with you, baby. It's so cool, bro. And it just does not feel forced. It doesn't feel like, oh, I went viral on this, so they're going to comment on my stuff for these 2 posts, and then that's it. it's like they're dialed in, like they're really waiting for me to drop music, and I'm getting messages every day. Like, hey,
yeah, they're really listening, really paying attention to what
really
you're doing.
like dialed in with me as a human. And just like you're saying, like, I can tell you're a cool dude. You seem so personable. You're funny. Like, I can't wait to see what's next. And it feels so organic that I'm just happy to be a part of it, bro. Like Creek Squad, I'm riding for sure. Like,
Well, I'll tell you, with me, I looked at your personal, I looked at your Instagram. I looked at the Wild Card Entertainment of it said memes, clips or whatever. And I got a feel for who you were as a person before I ever listened to your music. I think that's what separates Creek Squad from other communities of fans, is they only listen to the music. They don't pay attention to the individual. I think we find a love for the individual, and I'm speaking for like what I know, for how I feel. I think we find the love for the person before we find the love for the music.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy because you say that, and that's kind of how I even felt about Church. Like, I was rocking with him before we made Lonestar, before we made Lingo or Motion Picture. Me and him were rocking. And I was telling him and B-Loose in Nashville, I was like, bro, I've worked with bigger artists, right? Like, I've worked with people who have big followings, who've toured the country, whatever. There's a loyalty that I have to Upchurch that can't be explained.
Right.
Because not only did he choose to shine light my way, not only did he put me on his albums and put me on his album, multiple songs, do all of that, but he embraced me as a human, as a friend, and then showed me to all of his friends, which is the Creek Squad motherfuckers, dude. Because it is a fan base, but it just feels more like a family. And it's like the fact that he brought me to his family, is like he brought me to the dinner table. There's a level of loyalty that it does not matter if Church never dropped another song, got all of his accounts deleted, and had 10 followers. I will ride for that fool. 0% of industry involved, 0% music involved. There's just like a loyalty that I got for him now, for the human he is. And I feel like that's cool because I like Church the dude before I even knew how much I like Church's music. And it's cool that you say that because it's kind of like the same vibe. So
yeah, I think that speaks volumes, bro, because I know that's how I feel. I feel the same way. Like, as a person, he's a great dude, and that makes the music just that much greater. Like, when you look at music that way, I think people look at music, and not just him, bro. I look at a lot of artists that I listen to, and I want to know about the artists that I'm listening to so that I really understand, is the music they're making really what the life they're living? Because I did drugs. I fucked around and did the wrong things. I surrounded myself with the wrong people. I listened to music that talked about surrounding yourself with the wrong people. So now I want to listen to some music from some real motherfuckers that do stuff that I do now, not that I used to do.
Same.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. I sense that in you, and I respect you 100%. I think a lot of people put up guards, especially in the country rap lane, because we're never too sure, is this fake it till you make it? But I love the fact that you say, I'm a city boy. I'm a city boy that can rap, man, and you hold it and you own it, man. That's what's up.
For sure, man. And like, and that's another cool thing, is I really am. And like, I go out there and I start kind of experiencing that country life, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I need more of this. You know what I mean? But it's not because I want to force it, or like, oh, let me be more country now because I'm working with Church. Nah, I'm going to be me. But just, I'm like I'm getting exposed to a whole different culture and a whole different environment. And I'm fucking loving it, dude.
Well, I think that comes from being in the city, bro. I think that's what I was talking about, where some people lack that understanding of different cultures. Like, because you've grown up in a city with nothing but other cultures around you, you've adapted to understand, hey, it's okay if this dude don't listen to the same shit that I do. We're still going to talk about whatever at our valet parking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to have the connection across the board with people. So when you move, you're very adaptable. That's the way I'll put it. You adapt to a different environment regardless of where you're at. I think that comes from being in the city.
Yeah, I think so too. I do. I think that it helps me out quite a lot, And I think being such a mutt, you know what I mean? Born in Ecuador, dad's English, raised in Texas. I'm just like so open-minded to all of it. And and like another thing I will say that Church, because like, if you look at it, like some of my older stuff, there's reaction videos of people talking about it or whatever. But the way that Church fucks with y'all, and the way that the reactors fuck with Church, kind of opened my eyes to a whole new realm of like YouTube and like getting feedback on your music that's organic, because y'all don't have to do these videos. Y'all aren't being forced. Nobody's being, hey, do this, do that, do that. No, it's like y'all are organically doing it. And I remember I watched yours, and yours about Blue Jeans was pretty long. And I watched the whole fucking thing.
Appreciate
and I
it.
remember when you were talking about the hooks, you were like, Church is a hook guy. And this dude right here, I don't know who he is, but this is a killer hook. And it was like, you knew nothing about me. And you rock with Church. You're obviously an Upchurch fan. You were in the pit at his show. But you kind of like set aside, like we're being honest, like, yo, Church could have done this hook. He could have done whatever hook he wanted on here, but he let this guy do it, and this guy fucking killed it.
I think I was more critical of you because of the fact that you're a feature on a song, and I've never heard of you. And you're right. Like I was impressed that you kept up with Church. I was like, damn, bro, this dude's rapping right along with Church. He's got a hook that is catchy. Like, yo, he's the real deal. That's what's up.
Yeah,
you got to recognize it when it's real, bro. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
But that's how I feel about the reaction videos too, is because I've been through all of them. I promise you. And I'm not slandering nobody, but there's levels to that shit as well. Right. There's levels of quality feedback, entertaining, actually having something to say, actually being aware of the situation that the artist is in, or, you know, this album, and breaking down each song. And like, your shit was truly entertaining. And I enjoyed that, you know what I mean? But there's definitely others that are kind of, it almost feels like some of them are doing it just because it has his name, and they're just kind of running through the motions to oh, we did a video on this. But like the ones who are authentic and they're really there to break down the music and kind of go through the whole thing because they like to, they want to react to it, and they want to listen to what the product is, you can tell the difference. Just like you can tell the difference between someone who really cares about making good music and rapping and someone who's just trying to get some clout, right?
Yeah, it's the same product. I'm just putting out a video, you're just making a rap. Yeah, I get it.
But you care about your shit as much as I care about mine, and that's why me and you are gonna be dogs now for sure, is because I know how much you care about this shit. I can tell. It's 100%. It doesn't have anything to do with your cool setup or background or none of that. It has to do with how you elaborate and articulate about the music. Right. And about the artist and about the whole, and I'm just like, bro, I'm rocking with that. And that's, I've gotten cool with a couple of the YouTube reaction people now, because I was like, yo, this motherfucker cares about this reaction video as much as I cared about being on that song and what I could provide on that song. That you care about what you can provide to the listener, the consumer, about what they can expect from that album or that whatever you're talking about. And I think that is really cool. And it's definitely a form of art in itself. And yeah, like completely opened my eyes to how important that is. And something else is like, I kind of used to be in the mindset like, I don't need to watch it. Whether they like it or not, it's just me being me. B-Loose was like, are you fucking crazy? You're like, bro, you're getting free feedback from people who are actually listening to every word of the song you're on. And you're telling me you're not listening to everything they got to say? And I was like, yeah, I'm an idiot. Like, yeah. And now I'm going to go through and watch anyone that's been about me in the past 5 years before the church shit, all the way up to all the ones about Blue Jeans. So I've watched everything now. And it's like, wow, it's such an amazing way to get feedback on your product for the free. You know what I mean?
What you just did right there, I really, truly deep down appreciate, because that's the feedback that I hear. I YouTube a little over a year now. And when I started doing it, I didn't like the quality of my videos. I didn't like the way my background looked. I didn't like the way it came out. I didn't like the production of it. I didn't put enough effort into what I was doing. So over the years, I've understood that, or over the year, I've been trying to build a constant, I want it to look good, and I want it to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I want the video to be a promotion for the artist, not something that somebody goes, oh my God, this is a horrible fucking video, I can't even watch this. So I appreciate you noticing that.
I definitely did, bro. I definitely did. And like, I'm an artist, bro, in every way. Like, I love being a part of the production process when it comes to music, the videos. I like writing scripts. I like screenwriting. I love entertainment. I love comedy. I love short films. Anything that's creative and that your mind and your ideas and your thoughts are going to produce, I'm a fan. And now
that's why I dance. I do the little music video, the 30-second video thing. I don't know if you've seen me do one yet, but I put like a little bit of a music video into the song from the song I'm listening to, because I want that production. I like that. I think I should have paid attention when I was in school to like direction and stuff, like directing and movies, because I'm interested in this stuff. I like doing the intro, the outro, the end, the video. Cut
exactly. This and it makes you watch it in a different way. So I'm watching your reaction video, and yes, I'm concerned about what you have to say about my music, right? Like, oh, do you like this hook? Do you like this verse? but also subconscious or like in the back of my head, I'm like, cool. I really like how he transitioned there. I really like how much he pauses. He doesn't pause too much in the song, but he'll pause a little bit to talk about something and get back to it. Or, oh, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I got to do this real quick. Like, I'm now looking about the production value overall, and not just do you like my music or not, because I'm truly an artist and I care about all of that shit. And I feel
you're being critical of the whole product. You're looking at,
and it makes me a fan of when it's good. You know what I mean? For sure. And so you're killing it though. Keep it up.
I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate that. So we got tomorrow, we got a music video dropping, and I'm excited for that, bro. And then keep me in the loop about your music that's coming up, man. And if you want to go live and talk about it before you drop it, I'm more than willing to make some time to make a live stream and do that, bro.
Yeah, bro. Let's do it, man. Yeah, I got a couple of songs. I'm kind of gonna wait till this first video drops and try and get an idea of what these fuckers' schedules are, because they just move so rapidly and crazy. But I do got a couple of songs I'm getting ready to drop, and I would love to do something like that for sure, man. I would.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got you, bro.
I'll definitely be in contact with you, and let's figure it out. And like even the chat, dude, it was popping the whole time, and like everybody cares, and it's because you care, and because you care, it makes me care. And now I want to share that energy of me releasing something new with you, because we're on the same page of like, we give a fuck, and this is what we love. So let's do that shit. Yeah, I'm down, bro, for sure.
If anybody's got any questions in the chat, I can see, we can leave that open for a minute, because I know you said you got something to do here in a little bit.
Yeah. I got something I need to go to. Yeah, I got a couple more minutes, but I do got to get off here in a sec. So
let's see if anybody's got any questions, bro. I had fun doing this, man. I had fun getting to know you, and I'll say that when I listen to your music now, I'm probably be a little bit more critical. What B. Lou said is absolutely correct, because as you make a relationship with artists through their music, you tend to be a little picky on what they say, not in a bad way, but you start to hear it differently. Now I know you as a person, it's more open to interpretation, if that makes sense. So like something you said before, oh, I'm selling dope on the street, that I used to be like, oh, why is he talking about that? Now it might mean a little bit different, because I know the real T2.
Yeah, man. And I want the honest feedback, right? Like, obviously don't just grab my soul and crush it in front of the world. Right?
No, not like that. I don't mean like that. I mean, like I would say before, I wouldn't listen to him talk about selling dope, but now I will listen to you talk about selling dope, because I understand that it's not something you're doing today. That makes sense.
No, it's definitely something that's I rap about my life, you know, and most of that stems from past, right? Like you could talk about now for sure, but the stories that you have to talk about the most are the stuff that you've already experienced. So yeah, definitely, bro. And like I hate the whole concept of like a trap rapper, because I feel like their whole idea is to make music for people who want to hear that. And I'm like, no, I'm not making music for people who want to hear that. I'm just talking about my life.
Right.
I'm not basing my life about making it for people. You know what I mean? I think that's the difference.
Well, that's why I said it, because now like hip hop, and especially like the trap rap vibes, I feel like everybody's grabbing the lane of talk about drug use, talk about drug sales. So I feel like that is like a thriving topic right now. So when I hear it don't matter who it is. I'm like, ugh, man. But now it makes more sense with you, because you're just preaching your story, man. You're talking about your past.
So I appreciate that. And also be real though. Like, you know, if you don't like a certain song, like be honest, because I'm also into that. Okay, so hold on, let's see. Where in UK is your dad from? He lives in Kent, in Chatham. It's like 40 minutes outside of London. And he's really like an English motherfucker, dude. Like,
you're good at the accent, dog.
Yeah, he kind of looks like summertime Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Like if Santa had no beard and short hair, like that's my pops. And he loves like tea and biscuits. And
bro, you could do some crazy, like, you know, the commentary videos. You could do some crazy UK commentary.
Well, if I spoke like this, like, really trying to give it a bit of English roll. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you're good at that shit.
You have a goal you're working towards. Right now, it's just make the best music possible. You know, and continue to put it out in a fashion that's not so sporadic. You know what I mean? Consistently. Something I'm working on, like personally for my social media, is getting my Instagram to 10,000 followers. I had another account that had way more followers than this one did. It got deleted. So it's kind of been a struggle building it back up. So yeah, but followers only mean so much. To me, it's all about the art. So I'm just trying to make really good art, and I'm trying to put out good content when it comes to comedy stuff and music stuff, and just show the world who I am. Because like I said, the human experience is about connecting with other humans and that interaction. And by giving the world myself, I'm going to get the real people back, right? If I gave the world like a fabricated version of me or what I think they want to see, I'm not going to get that real interaction. But by being me with a 40-ounce White Claw and a pink hat, talking like I look like Tommy Chong, but I'll rap my ass off, but I'll also make a joke about your mom. Like, that's what I'm trying to give.
With the old school camel shirt on, it looks like it's got the dad front pocket in it too,
yeah,
don't it?
you sure you got that right. This is a vintage shirt, boy. It's from the 80s right here.
Yeah, with the wild card chain. I like that logo, dog. I like that logo.
Cool as fuck. Comes across really. Hey, thank you, British Bulldog. Hey, and D Livy, thanks for sharing my thing. Kaz, I think is your name. You've been showing love this whole time, so thank you.
Sasha wants to know: do you have a best first or the lyrics? I don't know what that means. Best first of the lyrics, like a best lyric, your favorite lyric you've ever done, maybe.
I have this line in one of my older songs about the government that was, it used to be, but now honestly, for whatever reason, and I have no idea why, the way I say in motion picture is that she said, "Baby, you the best, like I don't already know." I love that because it stems from a very true conversation I had. And in the moment, I was like, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but like, I know. And I was like, "Ooh, that's going to go over great in a song." So when I started writing that, I was like, "Oh, remember that conversation I had with that one girl?" And I was like, and the way it came out, I just feel like it's like very confident, almost cocky, but more than anything, it just sounds fly. And I sing it to myself in my head all the time. She said, "Baby, you the best, like I don't already know." Like, you know what I mean? Like, so right now, I mean, maybe not all time, but right now, I love that line for whatever.
Yeah, he said that's the one, bro. That I'll say this. That song is catchy. It's so catchy to end with that track, man. That one and Lonestar, I think, are two of the most catchy tracks on the album. I can't lie. Dude, I walk around singing both of them all the time. The Lonestar, I can't wait for this video.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tight. I'm gonna show you. Hold on, somebody asked about my hair. Let me pull this thing.
Yeah, he said, "Can he show us the hair?"
Hold on, man. We got them stony baloney locks right there, brother.
Bro, you were a real, yeah.
I'm about to go catch a swell and rip some Tide. If you want to get a soda pop after the surf session, bro, you know what I mean? Maybe order some za with some extra pepperoni, dude.
No, you kill the impressions. You got to do some of that. You're definitely a stone cold hippie, dog.
Let's go,
look
man.
at that hair. He said you could get rid of the hippie, but I ain't getting rid of the hair.
Nah, that's forever, yo. Hey, T2, our pleasure. Can't wait. Hell yeah. Hey, I'm rolling with the rooster thing now, especially I know that's Creek Squad. I love that. She's like, "We got an Ecuadorian rooster in the fam now." And I was like, what is that? Now I'm in it. And then think about, they all have the when I was out there, all the homies that were around church, they were all wearing shirts that had the rooster on it. So.
Yeah, bro. In Ecuador, I know they don't play with those roosters either. They got some real roosters.
Fighting them motherfuckers.
They do. They do. I had a friend from somewhere, I think it was Ecuador, and he said his grandfather and all of them, they got their own little gas for their roosters and all this. They got a knife shop. They man.
Yeah, no, it's really a third world country out there, bro. Like, it's wild out there. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, every time I go to visit, I'm like, "Ooh, this shit's kind of sketchy."
You still go every now and then?
Yeah. Before COVID, I was going quite a lot, and then after the COVID thing, I haven't been since. But
so you speak Spanish too, then, huh?
Yeah, I speak Spanglish, bro. I'm definitely not fluent. Like, my family will clown on me because I'm not that good. Yo, Orz told me I sounded like Frank Ocean on motion picture.
I seen him.
Which is hilarious. Damn the hair. Love the hair. Hell yeah. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. I really do rock it in my real life down a lot. But for whatever reason, at like shows and shoots, I always put it up because it would just be such a mess. And it just became kind of a part of the brand. So,
bet, dog.
Yeah, man, I'm rocking with you, bro. I do got to bounce. I truly appreciate you having me on here. And like, I will 100% moving forward reach out to you. I would love to do some more stuff. And like, when I'm dropping some music, I think it'd be really cool, kind of maybe to even like debut it and play it early and talk to you about the song before it goes live or any of that. So
I'm down, dog. I'm down.
Like that.
For sure. I really appreciate you coming, and I'm sure the chat does as well. You have a great night, dog.
Hey, man, shout out to Creek Squad. Shout out to everybody in here showing love. Y'all DM me, bro. I've been watching the comments. Some of y'all are hilarious, and a lot of y'all seem really cool. I seen a couple of y'all are from Houston. A city in here, 713 till the end. And yeah, man, British Bulldog, what's up, baby? I seen you the whole time. Yo, shout out Captain Kurt. I genuinely appreciate you having me. And yeah, y'all gonna see more from me soon. So let's get it.
Yes, sir. You have a good night, man.
All right, you too, brother. Peace.
There he was. There's T2. I'm gonna play a song coming out for you guys. I was thinking, what does everybody want? Do you want a T2 track, strictly T2, or you want a T2 feature? I think T2 track. I think we'll go with the T2 track. So we got Oh My, we got Nothing, we got Time to Waste, or Walk It Away. You want me to pick? We're gonna go out on a T2 track. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you go sub up to T2. Make sure you stay tuned. The music video that's gonna drop for Lonestar comes out tomorrow. So stay tuned. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. You guys have a good night. And we're running what are we running? I'll run his latest release. No, I'll run Oh My. This is Oh My by T2. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming out. Much love.
Yeah. They on that hocus pocus magic stuff. Stories just ain't adding up. Have to act the ass cause they too boring for the camera. Say my gang some animals. Cray like we on handlebars. We get hiding, we look down and we all do a cannonball. They say God don't like ugly, oh daddy can't excuse me, get ugly over the money. I know it can get confusing. Pistol pressed on my tummy, inner beast getting hungry. Split paper with all my partners, he lobster when we get munchies. I'm a peaceful pedal pusher who's trying to make a profit. Trying to locate my conscience somewhere in my past elastic. Willing to risk it all. My mom's wonder what that got me, won't have no regrets at all. Got my chronic, got my condom, they like, oh my, oh my, oh my. They say T2 going bad shit, I reply with no lie. Got them labels on the line, tell them that it's go time. Got them demons in my head, but I pay them no mind. And she like, go fine, yo like, go fine. My mama want me to make it, promise her that I try. Buying that new Mercedes,
appreciate you, Huntress.
Outside. Our story's a little crazy, got a darker outline in my life change when my OG say he was from me up here with no AC, still had that heater tucked up under my seat. I got my bread up, I got my head up. I'm screaming fuck that broke life because I'm fed up. Yeah, everything I learn from the streets. Stack paper, nothing comes in between. Yeah, I say I'm young without a plan. Go dumb when I'm with the fam. With a bundle full of hundreds in my hand. And so they saying, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say the whole gang going crazy. We reply with no lie. Tell them, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say tomorrow never promise. We wildin' out all night. Tell them, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say the whole gang going crazy. We reply with no lie. Tell them, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say tomorrow never promise. We wildin' out all night. I say be careful if your chick is present. Life's different in my presence. Describe me in a sentence. Fly rich and independent. Probably could be richer, but all I know is spend it. And you can't take nothing with you, so I'll never learn my lesson. And if I take her to dinner, gotta fly up out of Texas, cause I can't go out in Houston without running to my exes. She rolled her eye, but I promise at least one is in attendance. So we should slide to avoid all the drama and the attention in my jelly bean Jaguar. It's fast like mad fire. When I buy off-white, I throw it on the black card. These rappers act hard, they speaking satire. They want smoke and me, my team, and they get what they ask for. Like, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say the whole gang going crazy, we reply with no lie. Tell them, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say tomorrow never promise, we wildin' out all night. Tell them, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say the whole gang going crazy, we reply with no lie. Tell them, oh my, oh my, oh my. Say tomorrow never promise, we wildin' out all night.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Creeker Cat, have a good night. T2, appreciate you coming out, dog. New music video tomorrow, Lonestar. Go check it out. Have a good night. Peace.